guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Katie Horvath. This is Into the City. You are watching the election series. Today I'm featuring Cole Anderson. Cole is 21 years old. He's running for a seat for a city county councillor in the upcoming 2018 Sarnia municipal election. I went and visited Cole, asked him a few questions. I'm going to share that footage with you guys. We spoke about Cole's experience in politics. We talked about some of his reflections on the current council, and of course it was also an opportunity for Cole to introduce some of the issues that he is campaigning on, some of the topics that are most important to him, and of course what we could expect if we did in fact elect Cole as our next city county councillor. So I hope you enjoy the video, and here is Cole Anderson. Sarnia, I'm here today with Cole Anderson. Cole is seeking a city county council seat in the upcoming municipal election. And Cole, could you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure, Katie. I just want to say thanks for having me, first of all. Thank you. So my name is Cole Anderson. I was born and raised in Sarnia. I'm actually 21 years old. I attended Skits High School for 5 years. I'm currently working on my kinesiology degree at the University of Western Ontario. I've been involved in the community throughout my childhood. My interest in politics started quite young. I was actually elected president of the student council at Hannah Memorial Public School, and I attended kindergarten through grade 8. In grades 5 and 6, I believe it was, so that's where I kind of built my love for politics. And that carried on through high school, where I was appointed to the Lambton-Kent District School Board Student Senate. I also served on the Community Advisory Board at Blue Water Health from 2012 to 2016, where I represented not only a student voice, but a youth voice for the entire community regarding health issues that really related to the youth. And I went out and went out into the community, and I listened to what kind of health issues that the youth were facing, whether it was the need for a withdrawal management facility. Unfortunately, we do have youth suffering from mental health issues, which is a big health issue in our community. Later in my high school career, I was elected by the Lambton-Kent District School Board Student Senate for the 2015-2016 school year to serve as student trustee on the school board. So during that, we faced quite a bit of issues. It was a busy year for the board, mainly with the amalgamation of the Skits St. Clair property. So serving as a student trustee during that time was a very difficult time. It was a challenging time, but if I had to go back and do it again, I wouldn't change anything. I welcome challenge, and that's why I've decided to run for City County Council. Excellent,
very good. So I was going to ask you how you were drawn to politics at that age, which you kind of touched on already. So I guess I'll follow up with what was it about politics that drew you at? You said between grade 6 and 7, right? So what was it that kind of drew you in?
I believe at the root of politics, you should go into it with the intention of helping people. I have a passion for helping people. I want to pursue a career in hopefully the healthcare field one day. I think that stemmed from my passion for helping people. I believe you should get into politics not for money, not for gaining power, but to make somebody's life out there hopefully a little bit easier. Whether it's fixing that pothole that they deal with on their way to work every day, or a much larger issue that they face, I believe it's all about helping people at the end of the day.
That's great. So it shouldn't be a factor, but there are people talking. You're 21 years old, you are young. How could you respond to maybe if there's any criticism about your young age and entering this?
Absolutely, and I understand that. But the biggest thing I want people to understand is that I know I'm young, but I don't come from an inexperienced or naive place. I think I've kind of cut my political teeth with my past experiences with the Lambton-Kent District School Board, with my time at Blue Water Health, with my time in student government. So I don't come from a place of inexperience when it comes to politics and serving people and working for the people.
Right, excellent. And so what made you decide to, rather than just go for a city seat, what made you decide to jump right into city county?
I decided to jump into the city-county division because typically when I do things, I like to go full steam ahead, and I want to get as much out of the experience as I possibly can. I want to serve as many people as I possibly can, and I feel that if I could do a good job at serving the people of Sarnia when it comes to Sarnia City Council, I could do a good enough job at representing them as it pertains to the County of Lambton as well.
Great, excellent. And after the break, we'll be back with Cole. At this point of our interview, I'm going to speak with Cole a little bit, get his reflections on the current council term, the 2014 council. So Cole, what is your overall perception on the term?
If I had to describe this past 4-year term of the current council in one word, I would probably use unique, in the sense that they had to deal with a number of very challenging and, quite frankly, unprecedented issues. It's no secret that there was a particular issue that happened with the mayor and a workplace harassment investigation in which an integrity commissioner was hired, and a whole investigation was done, and it resulted in disciplinary action. But I'm also pleased to see that moving on from that, council was able to accomplish a number of things. But I still feel that as an outsider watching council meetings on TV or being there in person, I still see that tension that exists even a couple years down the road. So I'm hoping that we can get some fresh faces in there come this next election. That'll be up to the public to decide. But if we can get some fresh faces in there, hopefully we'll be able to move out from under that dark cloud, move on, and hopefully we don't face any difficult situations like that in the future.
Okay. So some candidates have chosen a side throughout the conflict. Many citizens are also divided, as you mentioned. So could you respond to that? And in terms of healing the city, how could you help with that? And how could you sort of prevent something like this tension from happening again?
There are definitely valid arguments on both sides of the issue. I understand and I fully accept that workplace harassment is never okay. Everybody has the right to go to work and feel safe and comfortable. I also understand that a lot of taxpayer dollars were spent to hire an integrity commissioner in order to follow the legislation that's in place to protect people in the workplace. So an investigation was carried out. The integrity commissioner brought his recommendation to council. Council adopted that recommendation. The disciplinary action was applied to the mayor. The mayor served his penalty, and now it will be up to the citizens of Sarnia to decide whether or not they want to continue with the current leadership or not.
Okay. So accountability at City Hall. Just in general, how can you ensure that there is an accountable and a transparent government?
I think the main thing we can do to ensure an accountable and transparent government is to have a city council that is willing to work together on issues. We don't have to agree on everything. Debate is always a good thing. But as long as we are united and work together and work through these difficult issues that face Sarnians every day, I believe that we can have a transparent government. We can hold people accountable. We can hold our staff accountable, ensuring that our staff is moving our city in the correct direction for this next term.
Okay, great. So in terms of balancing budgets, if you're noticing a contract is going over budget quickly, so for example, Centennial Park, we have a beautiful place now. It has been criticized for how much it did go over budget.
Absolutely.
So what are your thoughts on contracts going over?
So I'm big on fiscal responsibility and ensuring that we are spending taxpayer dollars wisely. People work very hard for their money, and the money that they contribute to government, I believe that they have an expectation that it's spent wisely. So in the case of Centennial Park, I know it went over budget by quite a bit. I think in a situation like that, we have to slow things down and do a very strict cost-benefit analysis to look at, are we getting a good bang for our buck, for lack of a better term.
So kind of before it gets to where it got, right?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Good answer. So how can you ensure that you yourself are going to be in tune with the needs and the wants of your taxpayers?
So just a week into my campaign, I've already noticed a lot of feedback on social media, which I completely welcome. I'm loving the feedback I'm getting. I'm listening to Sarnians. I'm introducing myself to Sarnians all over the city. I'm hearing what the issues are. I'm using my own experience with the issues I have or I've seen in the city over the past few years. And I'm looking forward to addressing some of these issues for Sarnians.
Okay, great. So we're in the final portion of our interview here. This section is just all about you. You mentioned recently, and speaking of social media, I read it on your social media page, you have a particular interest in giving the youth of the city a voice. And could you elaborate on that and how you'd accomplish it?
Absolutely. So one of my objectives for if I'm elected as a city county councillor for Sarnia, I want to work towards establishing a youth advisory panel for the city that would be comprised of young Sarnians who perhaps apply. The logistics will have to be worked out, but who perhaps apply and can sit on the panel for a term and share their ideas, share their issues, share their vision for the city. And that will be a direct forum for them to participate in the decision-making process when it comes to the municipal level of government. I know that in the federal branch and the provincial branch in the past few years, I'm happy to see youth initiatives being carried out, and I am hoping we can bring something like that to the city of Sarnia.
Okay, great. So could you tell me a little bit more details about your specific platform? What issues do you think are the most important ones that Sarnia as a city is facing?
So some of the important issues that I've seen myself, we face a huge infrastructure backlog in the over $200 million range that we need to start addressing, but that doesn't mean that we can jump right to service cuts or tax increases. I want to go in, I want to look at possible areas of waste where we could do better, where we can find efficiencies. Hopefully we can find efficiencies, take a little bit of that money and start applying that to the backlog of infrastructure, because at the end of the day, when we start improving our infrastructure, we're going to attract visitors, we're going to attract young families, we're going to attract business to the city, which creates a positive feedback loop. So if we improve our infrastructure, we're going to attract all these new things, we're going to increase our tax base at the end of the day, be able to apply more tax dollars to the infrastructure backlog.
Okay. And is there any other issues, you've mentioned a few, the youth issue, infrastructure backlog, and any other issues that you think are pressing in Sarnia?
Yes. I also want to focus on the issues that Sarnia faces in people's daily lives. I know that there's been some discussion, some arguments with certain things going on in the city as far as services go. One that comes to mind is we have a beautiful new park, we have a beautiful new boat launch, but it also costs the taxpayers a lot of money. Over the May long weekend, this past May, we closed our brand new boat launch, right? So we're turning away revenue for the city when we have such an infrastructure backlog. We have a very major project, very expensive project in the park to pay for. We can't be making those types of decisions. It's not in the best interest of the community.
Right. Okay. So we do need to have a business-friendly environment to keep people here and increase the tax base, as you've already touched on. So what are your thoughts on how we could accomplish that in the 2018 to 2022 term?
So first off, I'm very happy to see, especially in the downtown core in recent years, some new businesses, restaurants have opened up. I think that really attracts people to our city, especially in that downtown core. The better businesses do in our city, the more businesses will be attracted to our city. Right. So we need to, as citizens, be supporting local businesses, support our restaurants, support our marketing businesses downtown. Whatever business you're looking at, you need to support it. It will attract more people, more businesses to the city.
Okay, so shopping local is
yes.
the way. Gotcha. So just overall thoughts on community development. What does that look like to you? What's your vision for that for Sarnia?
So my vision for community development is fostering an environment, creating an environment that is that will work for Sarnia for many years to come. I speak to a lot of young people in their late 20s, early 30s who maybe went away to school and have started families now, but they're in larger cities like London, Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa. And they tell me all the time that they would love to move their family now back to Sarnia where they were born and raised. So many great things there. There's just no work for them. They can't support a family here. Right. That's why it's so important to draw businesses to our area and create an environment in which young people can now come back with their skills, with their education, and raise a family here.
Right. So I'm in a pretty interesting spot. I get to speak to all the candidates myself here. I've not made any decisions yet. Why should I vote for you?
I think you should vote for me because I offer a young, fresh view on the issues that impact Sarnians every day. I think that my experience in the public service sector serves me well, and it will allow me to serve Sarnia as well on both Sarnia City Council and Sarnia on Lambton County Council.
Excellent. So that's it for questions that I have. I just like to leave this open for you. What's your final message? Anything else that we didn't touch on that you would like to give the citizens of Sarnia?
So my final message to the citizens of Sarnia is that we face a very unique election, very interesting election coming up in the next few months. And I encourage Sarnians to investigate campaigns, ask tough questions of candidates, and if you're looking for a fresh view and you're looking for a youthful vision for Sarnia in the coming term, I hope I can earn your support, and I look forward to earning your support in the coming months.
Okay, great. Thanks, Cole. This is again Cole Anderson. Cole is seeking a city county council seat in the upcoming election. That's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, that is Cole Anderson running for a city county councillor. Do not forget to vote. If you've forgotten, the dates are October 11th through to October 22nd, both by telephone or online. Thanks again. I'm Katie Horvath. This is Into the City. See you guys next time.